Hey, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Camilla.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
Hey, welcome to Crowdsurfing, a show where we take a look at various projects on Kickstarter, Gamefound, and
Backerkit.
we do have a Backerkit.
We
today.
do. We do. No Indiegogo.
Hey,
No.
if you have, I don't even look at Indiegogo, so
Is it still a thing? I don't know.
I look at Indiegogo in those weeks. I'm like, I can't find anything.
Yeah.
Maybe Indiegogo.
Maybe Indiegogo.
Not so much.
I bet you could find some like the weird projects, the not board game projects on there. You should probably look into
I'm
Indiegogo.
glad you say that, folks, because I need weird projects. Okay, I'm not very good at finding them myself, so send them to me at tom@dicetower.com. I need weird, strange, or cool projects that are not necessarily board games. Send me hot sauce projects. I'll back them on the spot.
I think you need to cultivate your search engines a little bit more, and then you'll start getting the weird projects. You know, just put a few things into your search engine.
Just
I've
let
got
Mike,
a list.
just let Mike have your computer for about 10 minutes. He'll set you up.
That's right.
All right. Well, our show here, sponsored by Gamefound. Always cool, interesting projects on Gamefound that you can back. Here's one right now. Today we're taking a look at Flying Pirates and the Cities of Greed expansion. Flying Pirates, the race for the pirate throne, has already been crowdfunded before, and this upcoming campaign to Gamefound is going to allow you to both get that original game and to get the new expansion for it. So this is a game of chucking dice and moving around the board, a sailing board, and playing little mini games, especially games where you're going to try to outbluff and outthink each other. It's a game that's meant to be played very quickly. It's a game that can take several players, and this new expansion is going to add several things, including these cards you see here, and a special die that players can hit, the mayor's die. So if you've not played this game before, this will be a chance for you to jump in as you try to out-manipulate and bluff other players at the table. If you like rolling dice and just trying out different kind of piratey activities in a board game. It's a fast-paced one for everybody. You see that little mini game they're playing right there, that's part of it. So you can check this out. You can be notified when it launches on Gamefound, so check it out. That's Flying Pirates and the Greed, Cities of Greed expansion. All right, we're jumping right in with a table.
Yes.
Hey, you want a new table? There's one every week.
True.
It seems that way, yes?
Yeah, it's kind of tough, and it's starting to be where the tables are having a hard time differentiating from each other. I will say this. This one looks the least like a gaming table that I've seen in a while, in the sense of when they showed this picture here as a kitchen table, if I walked in and saw this in a store, I wouldn't know that was a gaming table at all.
This looks like a mix of All Play and Geek and Son. It's like right between the two is what it looks like. You know,
I think that's about right.
Simplistic,
isn't it?
like an All Play, but has features very similar to a Geek and Sons.
Yeah.
Even the way the things, attach in underneath, the way the boards lay on top, and you have to push up from the bottom, to get it out. Yeah.
Yeah. The prices on these are in the mid-range, maybe I would say. They're not
What is
cheap.
it, $1,500?
$1,500, $1,000 for their new one, which I will say I don't my personal style. This is my own style. I don't like the new one. I don't like the angled legs. It's definitely like 1970s kind of decor looking to me. I'm very
70s are back again.
Where does
they
it?
are, yeah. No, scroll down under the Guardian on this side.
Like on the
Oh, over here.
Yeah. Like I just don't like that kind of legs.
That definitely is a 70s vibe.
Right.
You're right.
And so that's my personal taste and
I
style.
bet that would look really good in an avocado green room, though.
Oh,
maybe
for sure.
a little
Some
bit of the orange accents.
shag carpet. Yeah.
I love it.
These chairs.
Yes.
No, I'm just trying to figure out. The chairs are crafted to be a lifetime, blah, 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 blah. But what makes them chairs that I still really, I wish someone had copied the Geek and Son chairs. Did you ever see those?
Yeah.
No.
They had like a butt carved into the seat. They were called
Butt carvers.
8-hour chairs. That's what they were called. 8-hour chairs. No, like there was an impression. And
They were
you sat-
molded. They were form fit.
And I'm telling you,
And
Do you send a caster?
You would send them a cast, and
yes.
they would make it form fitting.
All right,
to you.
I'm all about this.
But by hour 9, it was a problem.
Yeah, you
No,
get
but
8 hours.
I sat
that's
in
it.
one. It was pretty comfortable. But they also were charging $400 a chair.
Per chair.
Hello.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much are these chairs. Did they even mention them?
Yeah,
here?
they're right there.
$195.
That ain't cheap.
That's a lot for a chair.
ain't
That
cheap.
unfortunately, that's pretty standard for like dining room chairs that you go to like a furniture store and get.
That's probably true.
Unfortunately, like I have always
Costco,
thought
they are $40.
Furniture is so
Yes, it
overpriced.
is.
Can we get on let's have a few hour discussion about furniture being overpriced.
Or we can take a look at Moonlight and Rowan Wright comic noir detective story.
we need some Joey
we
up in
need
her.
Joey. So here's the thing. I typically, with a few exceptions, kind of glaze over the print and play solo stuff. Because I've found the ones that I've played, most of them have been, they're fine, and they don't really have a lot to keep me coming back.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
Some of those postmark games, postcard games, those are
Right.
different, right? Because they keep adding new stuff.
It's almost like a living Roland Wright. That series is, yeah.
I really like the theme of this, and the one little hook that they seem to have, where they have a daytime and a nighttime, and you slide it. You have two sheets, right? A thinner sheet and the wider sheet. If you slide it to the left, I think it's daytime. Right, it's nighttime.
Right.
That's a neat. That in and of itself, you would get my interest to play it. You know.
This one seems like for the print and plays, it's the most thematic print and play that they kind of created a whole, not a whole world, but like a whole character for this. You're a detective who also goes on heist. You know, you moonlight as a
wanna be
thief.
the dog.
You know, and so
No,
I think
it's true.
that was really interesting to see that level. And this guy, I kind of went down a rabbit hole with him to see what else he'd done. He did a Hive, which I was also interested in, and looked a little more complicated. So I still haven't played it, so I can't be like, ooh, I like what he does. It just seems like every time he does something, I'm really interested in it.
Okay. I love the theme. I think Z and I
Super
are
cute.
like that. I like those noir themes. Yeah.
This one has a lot going on for sure. It's
I
definitely
think it looks
medium.
really interesting. Again, wouldn't mind. I don't want to have to print out the sheets, but it is what it is.
Well, that's what Joey's for.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Joey will
Is it?
print it. Joey will
He'll
print
print
it.
it for someone else. He
He'll-
just won't
yeah,
print it
right.
for himself.
He'll 3D print till the cows come home. But
No,
heaven
Joey
forbid
would
we use
print
a
it.
printer.
Wendy will laminate it. You're good
right.
to go.
Exactly right.
It's also Legacy. Did you see that?
I did, which
They call it Legacy Light.
Yeah,
Okay, well then I definitely want to print my own because then you can just print it again. You have the file.
that's true.
All right.
Yeah, they're like, tear up the component. No, well, you can just print
Oh wait,
it again.
no,
It's not
I
that big a
printed it at
deal.
work. It doesn't matter.
Vineyard, a winemaking game. Title from AI. Come on. Although, I mean, I like that font, actually, but the name of it, I'm like, Vineyard? We already have
winemaking
viticulture.
game, yeah.
Well, that's to see that. I
What
was
does
just
viticulture
thinking,
mean?
Viticulture means wine culture.
Yeah. Again, you're kind of, I don't
Checks
know.
out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll go with it.
So funny. Someone wrote that I'm going to a Dropkick Murphy show. I bought a ticket to see them yesterday. It's hard to make a wine-themed game anymore, right? So, because basically you have viticulture, Vinhos maybe?
Well, those are very...
Because
Well, but that's what I'm saying. It's
right.
like now when there's so many themes where there's 15, 20,000, maybe exaggerating a little, versions of it. But wine, it seems like it's like, oh, this is like viticulture. You know what I
Right.
mean?
There's a couple, and they're all compared to that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
this
You know,
seems
but this thing-
way lighter.
The same
Oh,
thing
yes.
happens with like Wingspan, though. You
That's
can't
true.
make a bird game without
Yeah.
it being compared to Wingspan.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Elizabeth, for even mentioning
Oh,
that.
yes, that's correct. That's correct. See, I tend to like a lot of what Pencil First has done, right? They usually have a very nice production.
They really do.
And they're usually, they're priced well for what you get as well.
Who's the designer on it?
It's
Did they say?
Roberta, the one who did Creature Comforts and Maple Valley. Roberta Taylor, I think.
I had Thompson in my head, but that's not it. It's
Oh, so she did stuff for
Kids Table
kids
Board Games.
board games,
Yeah.
and now she's over
Yeah.
at Pencil First.
Yeah.
The artwork is a little
I'm not thrilled with the artwork.
Nickelodeon.
to me it looks like an app, like a farming app. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like so it's not in my personal taste. I think it is artwork. It is good. You know, it's just not in my taste. This one I like the idea of the shared worker placement, shared workers. We've seen that in like Transmission, which I really like. So I like that idea. But this one just was not grabbing me. You know, I definitely had to keep myself looking at it. It just, I don't know.
wanna play
I just
it.
I would
did
definitely
not
play it.
if it was here, I would play it, you know,
Yeah.
but it definitely does not inspire me to seek out more. I mean, not the artwork, not the thing, like just nothing about this was grabbing it. It was
Yeah.
all very bland, middle of the road.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Pencil First I'm very up and down on
Yeah.
their games. Some of their games I love, some I don't.
Right.
I'd give it a try. I'd like to other games. The artwork, I don't dislike it. I just
No,
think it could
it's not
be
off-putting.
better.
It's just kind of there. You
Right.
know?
It's one of those like, okay, yeah, it does nothing. It brings nothing. It takes nothing away.
And no offense to the artists. They're obviously
Yeah.
very talented. It's just this style's not going to be for everybody.
Correct. Yes. I think it's a style thing.
Yeah.
All right. Wildscale Swamps, expansions for Explorers of the Woodlands.
I feel like I'm the only one here that hasn't played this.
I feel like I'm the only one that has played it.
Oh, I thought you played it.
Explore of the Woodlands is what? No, I don't believe I played
Yeah, no, so this
it.
is like kind of my first dungeon crawler. It's like a dungeon crawler for
No,
Kid
took
Plus.
it home and never brought it back.
Oh, I see.
Nope, it definitely came back. Also,
I'm
I
gonna
took
say what I
my
say.
copy that I got at Essen. I left the work copy at work.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
I got facts on my side.
Receipts?
What did happen to this game? Is it in the library? It might
No.
be, and I don't know.
You didn't put it in the library, no.
No, you hated
Probably on your recommendation, then.
So I really liked the game.
it. Did you review it? Do we have a review
Yeah,
on the
we
channel?
reviewed, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Z and I reviewed it. I really liked the game. I think it is a great dungeon crawl that I play with kids plus, maybe family weight
Yeah.
even. And I really liked it, but the rule book was so rough to get through. It was really difficult, just left a lot of questions. I mean, the one thing that we kind of harped on in the review, for example, it didn't even tell you how to win.
Oh,
So we got to the end, we're
well,
like, I think we won, maybe.
Is it a cooperative game?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
And so, but then they did a 2.0 rule book.
Okay.
And I looked through it. I have glanced through it, and it's like, oh yeah, I definitely see. It looks like it had improvements, and so I was excited about this. Now this one has a 2.2 rule book, I think
Okay,
it said. So
okay.
they've done another iteration since that. So that's very promising. Unfortunately, my concern now is I loved what it was.
Yeah.
I feel like, is this just more stuff? I didn't necessarily want more stuff. I really liked the weight of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an expansion, though. I mean,
It is an
just gives you
expansion,
more-
and I don't. But it's not an expansion. Hey, here's more events. Hey, it's hey, here's more mechanisms.
Yeah.
And that's
It
what I'm like.
definitely has
So
like the boat thing
You
going
definitely
on.
get more dice.
But those are add-ons.
Kind of weird, though. They're just like, hey, stretch goal, four more black dice. That's not that interesting.
You kind of just breezed right over the important thing. You read the rule book now. Did you win?
I did win. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Whew.
All right.
Can confirm. I have
Okay.
won this game.
All right, that'd be terrible. Like you find out a year later, we
You'll
never
know.
won.
Number one. Time to change BG stats.
All right,
Yeah,
I just realized my. There we go.
No wonder. I felt
my
there was
gosh.
something off.
Oh,
You have
it's
no
killing
padding
me,
for your
right?
microphone.
Against time or death. So I wasn't in last crowdsurfing, which you may have noticed was mentioned once or twice. But I want to know the difference between a solo role-playing game and a solo game, like a board game. It's kind of a weird thing. If it's a solo role-playing game,
Yeah.
then you have a set of rules that you're following to win the game. A solo
Okay.
board game is the same thing, essentially. How do I tell the difference?
I think it's just two different descriptors.
Isn't life a solo RPG?
Because you
Not if you
wouldn't
get married.
Because someone said, "Hey, it's a solo board game," you wouldn't. You'd be like, "Okay, solo RPG." I think it's just another descriptor, right?
Yeah, I guess it would come down to, I mean, because you could say the same thing about what's the difference between an RPG and a board game.
I know you say that.
I'm not saying it to be pedantic. I'm really trying to figure out what the
I don't know,
difference
but I
is.
think solo RPGs might be of interest to board gamers. Anyway, this
Maybe.
is a dual RPG of
Okay.
sorts.
Okay.
That's why I'm bringing this
Duet.
up here. A duet storytelling game.
All right.
Where there's a forbidden relationship between two elite operatives.
Oh.
It almost sounds like,
Mr.
and
and
then we
Mrs.
held
Smith.
hands.
Yeah.
Oh, that game. But that was an abstract game, but I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's saying, will you find the courage to speak your heart before the end? I feel like I could.
Yeah. I feel like
I
It's
love
gonna be
you.
a 2-minute
Done.
RPG.
We won.
And good.
exactly, yeah. Yeah, this is going to, I think, have a pretty limited
Yeah, narrow,
niche
yeah.
audience, and those people are probably going to be into it. That sounded terrible, those people.
You're one of
I don't know
those.
anybody
I thought
who's
it sounded
really big
interesting.
into the,
It's these are kind of a weird game to play. Like, I'm not an actor.
yeah,
Thanks.
but you play one on TV.
No. I'm not an actor.
Yeah.
I would have a hard, but I can act in some sense. Like, if I can pretend to be mad at you.
Right.
I would have a hard time for myself pretending to be romantic with someone I was not. I just would.
So for some reason,
have-
that's like a
Tom,
interesting.
This lighting. There's something about this lighting.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I've never
what's
seen you
bothering
look.
me is I put a
You're
stupid
positively
red hat on.
you're
It does
glowing.
not match the suspenders.
Tom didn't get the joke.
I'm taking it off. I was ignoring
Tom
it.
did not get the
ignoring
joke.
your joke.
You know what's funny is this is one of the few times like, oh, good job matching the hat because the red actually pulls out the red in between the flowers. Problem is you just can't see it on camera.
Tom, I've never
Yeah.
seen
But it
you
was
look
actually
better.
wow.
It was
you matched
bothering me.
really well today.
Except for that
Although, why
hat.
are you eating your roses? What's up with your tie pin? Did you
It's
choose
awesome.
that yourself?
I did. It's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's
here
the
we
first
go.
That was a decision you made.
Look at
Whoa,
that.
that is so much worse.
Oh.
No, that fits better. That fits
Yes.
better. It's not clashing.
Okay, on the camera it does, but in real
Camera's
life,
all that matters. Anywho,
Yeah.
but I just think for me to be like, how are you? And
I can't imagine. Yeah, like
even
if it's,
with my wife, it's the
Right.
reason I never played. What's that game? That
Fog of Love.
Fog of Love, right?
Oh,
I never
yeah.
played Fog of Love with my wife because I just thought it was weird. We're play acting at being in love. It's just an odd thing to me. I'm not saying it's bad.
No, it's just a personal
for me,
thing.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
I don't think
I don't
I
know.
would.
Otherwise, I'd be
necessarily-
interested in this.
I
a
will
lot.
say, I think that this is interesting, or what I appreciated about this, I should say, is they have already done some podcast of them playing this, and
Hero
so you
played
can
it, said.
see, you
That's
know,
cool.
they've played it, and it's
That's
like, hey,
cool.
here's an example. I needed that example because I had no idea what this was talking about until I went and listened to 5-10 minutes of the podcast. I was like, what? You're just talking back and forth? Is there structure? And so anyway, I kudos to them for that. Is for
Cool.
those of us who are board gamers and like, what is this? It's nice to have that
And
sample.
did it sound like you understood kind of what it was about after listening to it for a few minutes, or?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I understood more of what it was,
Yeah.
but I was definitely like listening to 5 minutes in the middle of an hour-long podcast.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, so I just got through the beginning and went to a spot where it was like they were clearly playing.
I see.
So
I see.
All right, Bullet Cube, new expansions and storage box. So I have played both Bullet Love or Bullet Heart and Bullet Star, which honestly doesn't mean anything. The game is just Bullet, right? It's just different sets. So this is essentially a Tetris style game where these you're going to be pulling stuff from a bag and they're like dropping towards you. And each round of the game there's timed. I want to say minute or 2 minutes. I think it's minute or I don't remember how long it is. There's timed spots in the game where you are playing cards and you're pulling tokens from a bag, and you can pull as many tokens as you want, but you want to pull them. You don't want to pull too many, but you want to form enough shapes where then you can play your cards that will eliminate them, and you eliminate them by sending them to someone else's board.
Yeah.
And if you have them hit the bottom, not hit the bottom, but if you don't have a spot to put one, you're dead. Or no, you take a damage. And then you have a certain amount of life, and then you're dead and you're out. So the goal is to eliminate the other person first. It's very anime.
That's the thing. I need to play this game because I've heard so many things about it. You told me that you thought I'd really like it. It's not just the anime thing. I have such a hard time with any level 99 games. I don't know what it is.
okay.
Okay,
I
well, they
almost,
really
almost
lean into
across
anime.
The board, I don't like the look
I
of
will
their
say
games.
the anime here is not
It doesn't look
exploitive.
to be gross. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's just in general, I'm more with Mike. I just don't like anime. I don't like the style of art at all. And that
But
is
you're
what has.
mostly looking at this. See
Right,
these cards
right.
here?
Yeah.
So that shows if I get these two bullets in those patterns, then I can kill the bullets in those three spots. If I get these three bullets. And then everyone has special unique powers. You're very asymmetrical, and you can get upgrades and things that you do on the side. You'll get that lightning bolt. The more lightning you can spend that to do those special abilities.
Yeah.
If you're the first one to pass on a turn, you get to take the ability. You also have to like real time. It's like spurts of
Yeah.
real time.
Okay.
I
It's
like that.
We're doing
I
this.
don't.
Okay, now we pause. Everyone breathe. And now let's do it again.
Okay.
I like it. I don't like it as much as my daughters. My daughters loved it. There's a theme song for every character,
Yeah.
which you
That's
use
so
for
weird.
the timer.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, everything I hear about this game, I think mechanically I'd really enjoy it. I'm always drawn in with people, and people that I know I have similar taste in games to really enjoy it. So I'm drawn in. I think it's weird. We're seeing here they're doing the big box as well, but it's the big box that they say has room for future content, and that always makes me nervous because it's like, do you already have that content designed, or have you limited?
It's level 99. Yes and or no.
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
Right.
You can just keep making more.
But is it going to fit then is my thing. It's like they've kind of backed themselves in a corner then with it. Because it's like, well, we already have the box. Are they now designing to make sure it fits in the box?
I don't know. I'm just saying that I don't think you need that much bullet. I mean,
Yeah, that's
I thought
true,
Bullet
too.
Heart, I was like, wow, there's like 8 different characters. That's
Yeah.
cool. Then Bullet Star, like 8 more characters.
Yeah.
How many do we need?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but if you love it, $199 is a lot. But then if there's $399, which seems like it adds a bunch of stuff you don't need. Like $199 is the actual, it's gameplay all in. The $399 just adds a bunch of pictures and extras, doodads.
Okay.
So I missed. They sent me Bullet Heart, Bullet Star. They never sent me Bullet Orange, Bullet Paw, Bullet Palette,
What?
Bullet Fan,
Palette?
Bullet Orange Plus. Well, actually,
What?
these 2 bottom ones I think are new.
What?
What is a palette? Like a
Oh, isn't that how you say it? Palette? Palette?
No,
The
it's
thing you paint on.
It's palette.
thing
Palette.
you what?
The thing
Paint.
you paint with.
He's not talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
a palette you stack. He's talking about like a painter's
okay.
palette.
Yeah, I can't
Sorry.
see it from here.
Yeah.
Oh, I pronounce it right. Yes. Okay. Anyway,
It's palate.
I want to get my kids want me to get Bullet Paw because they think the animal thing would be funny.
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that yet. Anyhow,
That's cool.
if you like puzzle style games, this is it.
Yeah, that
and
sounds
Andrew,
interesting.
stop it. Okay. He's like, how many cosmic aliens do you have?
This is fair.
That's not the point. Well, the point also is those. I've gotten rid of cosmic aliens I don't need. I've gotten rid of a lot.
Yeah.
I have. Moving on. Drop and Paint XL. So
That seems a little aggressive. I'm not going to lie.
So this is
and paint. Yeah, right?
So this is a paint line that's already out. It's by Scale 75, who I'm not a huge fan of Scale 75 paints. A lot of them are going to be like your quick style paints, your what are they? Oh my gosh, it's the contrast paints,
contrast paints,
stuff like that. So it's kind of the same thing. I haven't
afraid to
loved
say
their
it, 'cause I thought I might be
transparencies,
wrong.
but the drop paint specifically is for airbrush. And so now this is their most popular colors in a bigger bottle because
wow,
if
those
you're
look
painting,
like soda packages.
Is their thing to be like the super bright, neonish type of trapper keeper colors? Is that kind of their thing?
not necessarily, but I mean, I think it's more those were the big sellers because they were talking about specifically if you're doing like a larger piece,
Right.
then it's the colors you go through the most of.
Okay.
you
I'm
know?
sorry. I must have saw it wrong. It looked like it said 486 euro. Is that right? I can't be right for paint?
Where?
486? No,
Keep
I
going.
mean if you're getting the whole thing.
Hello?
all of them. Yeah. I mean,
What?
Oh, no. That's the whole rack. That's the rack. That's for retailers, and it's a filled rack to sell.
Brother,
Okay.
you're a painter.
So let's say I buy this for 486 euro. Right?
Well, you have 180.
For an example. Then I go to a game store. I set it up. Take a money box. Yeah. How much am I getting out of this? You think I can make my money back?
100%.
Okay.
Each of those bottles is, I don't know this one specifically, but I mean, for this style of paint, it's anywhere from $3 to $5 a bottle.
I'm just going to take it to a Walmart and just set up in a Walmart.
Okay, maybe not, because they can go inside and get craft paint for 99
Oh.
cents.
Also,
That's why I'm not a
you could
businessman.
take this, Mike, and
Yeah.
then you'd have there'd be one color that you wouldn't sell any of. Sometimes you'd be like, I'm looking for white. You're like, I sold out of white right away.
I've got burnt sienna.
This is definitely bright. At least the page is bright.
Yeah.
They definitely have a vibe. You know, their page definitely is kind
Yeah.
of going for
Actually,
that.
I like this vibe.
Yeah, I think the vibe is
I don't know
more,
why.
I don't know if it's specific to this company or just this project. It's not one that I've ever seen before, but yeah, so it's specifically their airbrush line.
Whoops, I closed that airbrush line. Well, sorry. An Age Contrived, Folklore and Pilgrimage. An Age Contrived was one of my most anticipated games when it first came out because they showed this little metal contraption that shot out.
This is that game.
That shot out these little pieces onto the board.
Oh.
Then once I got the game and spent the hours putting those contraptions together,
To find out that
following
they're
a very
basically
specific
useless.
video that I had to keep pausing to put them together,
Yeah.
to find out that not only were they useless, they detracted from the game experience.
Oh.
I do notice they're not pushing them here anymore because that's not what the game's about. The game is a big... It's a big game. I noticed I didn't put my review here on the page. Not sure why. It's a big game where you are basically sending out these different tiles, almost like there's something magic about it. I don't know why. You're placing them on the board in various spots to finish monuments, which were magnetically built on the
these
board.
metal.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is overproduction's a strong word to say, but this had a pretty strong production. From the little tiles, they look like Azul tiles, to plastic miniatures, to a magnetic board.
But was it like functional? Was did it need the magnetic board? Because like the buildings, you build it side by side, right?
They
Piece.
were magnetic in that they attached together. That was cool.
Was that needed for the gameplay? Like, did you build the structure throughout the game?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know that you needed it, but I'd rather that than ones that slot into each other.
Yeah.
This looks like it adds a lot. 3 distinct paths. There's new characters, an independent module. I already thought the game was in my opinion, a much ado about nothing style game. I played it with people who I thought would appreciate it, Wendy and Chris, and they did not.
Okay.
I thought it was contrived.
No, but here's the thing. They're making an expansion, and a lot of people said they really liked it.
Okay.
Now, I did not find that any of those people came to our conventions. Because
Did not find that any of these people had taste.
These people.
No. What I meant was,
if you're one of these people,
I did not like the
don't
game.
go to
I said,
DiceTowerEast.com.
well, I'll still stick it at the convention. It was at Dice Tower East, and it was checked out 0 times.
Yeah.
got it.
So, and it was on the hot game shelf.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I wondered about that. You know, but
Does it have
obviously people love it because people comment on our video that we were morons for not liking it. So if you do want it, you can get it now. And I'll tell you this. This is one of those games that even though I don't like it, I applaud them because they swung for the fences.
Okay.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that.
This does not look like other games. This is different. They tried things. I don't like it, but I can see why people do.
Sure.
Okay.
It's definitely, yeah, like you said, looks like it's an ambitious production, if nothing else.
Now, this I find interesting to say, build your mythology with movement reimagined. In this game, you move around the board, and I found that to be by far the weakest part of the game. So if they've fixed that and made it better. Pilgrimage module.
Those cards look straight TCG, though.
Wow, that's another whole board. And then more characters. So the game had asymmetrical characters with special abilities.
They did to begin with, or is this adding it? Okay.
So these look like it adds more.
Yeah, it looks like they were kind of not game-breaking ones, but one of them actually destroys the monuments as they go. Things like that. Like it seemed like they were.
Well, they're still doing the metal boards, aren't they? Okay.
Yes, but they're not putting that front and center anymore.
Yeah.
This is not why you buy the game.
Right.
You buy the game because of the gameplay and stuff. So
okay, well that's neat to see that focus away from the gimmicks and on the actual mechanisms and material of the game. That's good.
Yeah. So that was a lot of videos.
Yeah. One
All
was
right,
conspicuously absent.
So next, Gamelax, which you drink when you're
I'm glad it wasn't only me. I'm glad it was not only me.
Oh, so it was.
No, it's like this
Here, drink some Gamelax.
Yeah, this makes
get
your
those
games
Legos out of you.
very regular. Yeah.
What is EKET?
Oh, you don't know what EKET is?
No.
This is EKET Plus, though.
I think it's another shelf for.
It is. Yeah, I picked that up, but I didn't know what it was because they said Gamelax or EKET. You know, the hugely popular EKET.
IKEA EKET.
Are you sure it's IKEA? Okay.
Oh, it's IKEA. Look at the very left.
There it is. The EKET storage. It's modular. Oh, these are those ones that you just stick on the wall.
Oh, okay.
So it's like Gamelax, but it goes on your wall.
So why don't they just call it single Gamelax? Come on. One by one.
Look, you got Gamelax, you got EKET.
Do you think they just like randomly pick letters when they make these things?
These? Yeah, very much. Like I think these were all named by Bjork. I don't know how I feel about these. I'm pretty sure I don't like them because they are 3D printed, but some 3D printed things look very 3D printed while others do a pretty good job of masking that. Where to me, this looks very 3D printed, and it looks almost like child's toy box.
It does.
And
Some of them.
I don't love that.
I think there are pieces of this that I like, but we've talked before, this is one that I would like to see at a convention because some of the box shelves that they put in there, you see them and it looks like they're already starting to sag a little bit, something like that. So I'd want to see it. Now, if you own a 3D printer, you can just print another. I mean, I guess, would you really care? I really did like some of their storage solutions for small games. So there's pieces of it that I really like, but I find myself kind of pulled in two different directions here because it's one that I would want to go to a convention and pay or pay and just have it. I want to go home with it. I want to buy the product, not the STL. And what I want to pay for that is, between $40 and up to $60. The STLs are $60.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ugh. So the STL, just the file so that I can print it myself, is at the top of what I would want to spend for a project like this. So that's where I'm like, it's just there. And even then, I just want pieces of it. Like I said, the little mini game storage, some of the little drawers to hold bits. There's some things I find really intriguing that I think I would use. But the $60 price point, and then having to print it myself and make sure it fits and build it, I'm like, it just kind of, it pushes me out of what I want from this project.
Also the practical issue of if you're going to buy this at a convention, and you got to buy a seat in the plane for your Gamelax. you got this whole Gamelax sitting next to you, right? It's like,
does the Gamelax get his own ticket?
Can I get a ginger ale for the Gamelax? Can I get 2 ginger ales? One for me, one for the... What do you think of this, Tom?
I'm just trying to figure out how this business license works. Okay, so it says here that you get a license to print and sell the physical versions of this for your business for 2 years. Now, are there laws on the usage of STL files? Like,
yes.
Like, you think there's laws? I mean, this is a very modern technology.
It's the Wild West.
I think it's the Wild West.
You can use STL files and do anything.
I don't think so. No, I think a lot of the places you go and get the STL file from has rules in it like these are intended for.
I'm not arguing there's rules. I'm asking, are there laws?
I'm sure there are. How would there not be? I don't understand. Yeah,
No. Like
you think the
U.S. government has made laws about STLs?
I know you're not supposed to kill people.
Will sue somebody for it. Yes. It's just like fonts.
That's
it's the same thing for the fonts. I mean, those same laws for fonts. Why would there not be for STL files?
Well, that's true. So if it's fonts, then I think we're fine because no one enforces those laws as shown by every board game ever made.
I mean, an enforcement issue is different than is there a law and could you?
Well, I find it weird that it's a 2-year limit. That's all. I've not seen that before. I've seen business STLs before where they're like, hey, get a business license and you can use it. I haven't even seen a business license like that. Like we get music sometimes. We stop because Dave Culling is doing an amazing job making us amazing music. But when I used to get music, I would get a license for that music, but it was pretty much unrestricted. It wasn't like for 2 years.
Right.
The 2 years is what's throwing me. Like, when does the 2 years start? Are you signing a contract? I just think that this is a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, it's a handshake.
Okay.
It's like, I go like, 2 years.
I'm not saying I would do it, okay?
Yeah. It's like,
I'm not saying this. I'm just asking what the rules, like, are there laws about STLs? Because if I make an STL and I get to Mike and he prints it out.
Yes, I mean, you own that STL.
Yeah, you got 2 years, give or take a couple decades, right?
What's
a couple of decades among friends?
Yes.
There are 100% laws.
There are laws for this. Yes.
About STLs?
Yeah.
There's no way there's...
Really?
I'm almost sure there are.
Okay, that's not enough.
And we've been saying that. Okay.
This
Thanks,
law
Mike, for
isn't
backing
worth
up
the
what I've been
STL
saying.
it's printed
Thank you.
on.
I'm so glad to have...
You're out of order. You're out of order.
Right.
Gamelax is out
I'm trying to have a real
I really
conversation.
don't know. I'm waiting for someone to come in here. It says it's more of a contract than a law.
Right, and I get that. If it's written in the contract and you break the contract, they can take you to court over this $5,000 thing. I'm just curious. My question was, are there laws about STLs? And all I got was grief. Okay? I apologize for trying to ask a serious question on this show.
Well, you also implied that laws are suggestions.
Suggestions,
No,
right, yeah.
I said rules
Did
are
I
different
have
than
to
laws.
follow it?
If I have a rule in my game store, it's the same as a law.
Okay.
And if you don't understand...
No, I agree. Yeah.
All right, anyway. Not that I care. I wasn't going to buy it anyway. So.
Yeah, you still never said what you thought of it.
Oh, I think it's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Stop it. All right. Echoes of the Wood, Oracle deck and board game.
Arcana Flow.
This is one of those games that's taking itself very seriously.
Yeah, it's supposed to be more of a journey than a game. You know, like you go in with a question at the end.
I think this is less for gamers and it is more for people that are into tarot.
I will say, for it being a game about nature, it's all black. What on earth?
Well, you know, Tom, the nature reflects the black and white within us all, the birth and the rebirth, the decay and the growth. We all are just role-playing through life, a solo role-play, until you meet that special someone. Then it's a dual role-play.
You pulled this out of nowhere very well.
Well,
this is your pick of the week. I see. All right.
100%.
All right. Adventure Time Card Wars 2025. Now, this one blows me away for a couple reasons.
Me too.
I mean, this game came out 10 years ago. I reviewed it. I enjoyed it. This game is based on a single episode.
One episode.
Yeah.
From Adventure Time, which is about, I don't know, like 15 minutes long, the episode or whatever. And they never mention it again.
No.
Yeah,
It's an episode that's making fun of Magic the Gathering by having a game that they play called, I don't remember what the game was called, Card Wars?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that,
And then they had this, you know, they showed little clips of what the game looked like. And in their version, it was like holographic, right?
Right, they were coming up.
Yeah,
Okay.
And they would floop the pig. And so they actually turned that into something in the game, which basically means tapping a card. But
And it's a decent game. I
It's
enjoyed
fine.
it. And
It's
it came
fine.
out to very ho-humness.
yes. It didn't-
And then the series was canceled. Not canceled, but
it
it
ran
finished.
its course, yeah.
Which
And
means
now it's suddenly popular.
well, of course, I mean that's
A
how
whole
it
new
is. I mean, yeah,
generation.
the whole
the kids
and
grew
the
up
whole
and have money.
Yeah, that's what it is.
yeah, like there's the whole cult following that gets behind it, you know, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not upset about it. I'm glad.
I liked
Yeah.
Adventure Time quite a bit. As a parent, it was one of the shows that I would actually enjoy watching with
Oh, really?
my kid. Yeah.
It's funny
Except
because
for
it goes
Lemon
from-
Grab. Any episode with Lemon Grab, I'm up and out of the room.
I just played. I played his little wrestler game, and my first wrestler was Lemon Grab.
Yeah, no.
I was like, yes,
That
he's
was
so annoying,
so obnoxious,
He's the most
man.
annoying character.
It was like an entire character based around that one scene in Dumb and Dumber where he's making the most obnoxious noise.
Oh, my
That was that
gosh.
whole character.
Jeez.
Just
Anyhow,
I don't know anything about it, so
yeah, I actually, it's funny. Adventure Time has some of the dumbest jokes you've ever
Yes.
seen, but also some of the smartest jokes. It's
Right.
funny, and some of the most. Like that Lich, this guy here, is one of the most fearsome villains ever in a cartoon, I think.
oh,
no, it was a legit show. Like it really did some cool stuff.
And it's one of those shows that does like really dumb episodes, like the card game one.
Right.
But in the background is a huge story, and I think it's a post-apocalyptic world. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyhow, the game's fun, and there's a lot more new factions, reprinting the old stuff, and
very
people
much-
are
very
eating
much.
this up.
Yeah, it's much like what was the game? It's kind of like Pokemon, but not really. It's more like the what's the other one?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yu-Gi-Oh,
right?
okay, huh? Interesting. Yeah, no, it definitely has its following and more for them. You know,
Does your son like Adventure Time, or is he too young for it?
no, I don't think so.
My kids all thought it was dumb.
Yeah, really? Okay.
I'm sure
I
my son
watched it
doesn't
and I
like
played this game with my oldest, who's now 22, but at the time, you know, he was I don't know, 8.
Unacceptable.
Yeah,
Lemon Grab.
it was BMO.
I think you can find whole YouTube videos of just Lemon Grab.
I'm sure you
screaming.
can. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what you do to your enemies.
Here's another cultural touchstone.
Very
Power
much, yeah.
Rangers. Now
Yeah.
this one is, me and Mike are just a tad too old to be fans of Power Rangers.
Power Rangers was not my thing.
Well, you were almost.
I would
You were in
have
high school.
I would have been. Yeah, it's probably.
And then
in
I
high
think
school,
I'm
yeah.
a little too young for it because I definitely
Okay.
was not part of the.
Jeez, flex much?
Yeah, I was definitely not around
Ageism.
for no. Power Rangers definitely.
I can't
was not-
imagine you at any age liking Power Rangers.
Honestly, yeah.
I know what you.
That's fair.
This is not your style.
No, but I mean, just like in high school, like it wasn't a thing when I was in school. It's my friends didn't watch this.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah.
talked about in school. Like it was not popular.
Anyway, this is their game that they put a lot into. It's a cooperative game, I think, for the most part, and you can just mix and match the heroes against the villains, against the enemies, and this is everything. Also, it looks like they have their role-playing game stuck in here. There's a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
If you like Power Rangers, I don't know that you need this much. See, I think this is the kind of game for the people who know that there's more than one of each of the colors. Like, I know that there's different
I
color
had no
Power
idea.
Rangers, but there's different actors who play them, and there's different eras.
Oh.
And so, like, this game now, there's like 7 or 8 blue Power Rangers, and I'm like, oh. I would figure it's the same guy all the time. You just pretend
Yeah.
it's like Doctor Who. You
Yeah.
pretend it's the same, but no, they're distinctive.
But they're unique, like the.
They have their name. See, Billy Cranston.
Oh, so it's
and
like
Kimberly
it's
Ann
like
Hart.
the Robins in the DC universe.
Well, there's more of these than there are Robins.
Okay. All right.
Well, and it is interesting or important to note too that they make a big point about this being the final expansion, the final part of this game. Like
Donald
this
X.
is the end of it.
Vaccarino has taught them well. I don't know. Maybe
That's a deep cut.
That is a deep cut. Sorry, he's the one who said there's no more expansions for Dominion coming.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
let's get the STL bundle. There's no laws. Get the STLs and then cancel your pledge. The money's mine.
That is not what I was asking you, weirdo.
Oh, all right.
Goodness gracious.
It's just
all
a rule.
Bark Avenue, Kings and Queens in Concrete Jungle. So I read part of the designer diary of the person who designed this, and she said, I think it was she just wrote it on Board Game Geek talking about Bark Avenue, and I guess they were bored during 2020.
Okay.
This is a lot of designer diaries that started.
Right. I had nothing to do.
But she loved the idea of, I think it was New York City, walking around and walking people's dogs because they still need to be walked and things like that. And I've always enjoyed the cover of Bark Avenue.
Now, you played the game, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it's a fine game. It is essentially, you're getting dogs, you need to walk them, you're trying to make your route so that you can try to pick up another dog and walk that dog.
Right, efficiency.
But it's not that as deep as all that. There's
you get
a little bit
steal
of
dogs from other players and
there's
walk
none of
their
that.
dogs too.
But there are some random events that happen sometimes, and it's a game if you love dogs more than if you love games, if that makes sense. But it's not a bad game. It's just a fine one.
Yeah. This one that I definitely wanted to try because I do like this theme. I mean, I really like Dog Park, which sounds like it has a similar theme. I just never got it to the table at all. And now I was wondering with this expansion, it seems like it took it to a heavier game than the cover would belie or like what you would lead to believe. It definitely got it like, oh, this little player interaction board over here. Oh, and special one-time powers. Oh, and special this. So I just wondered if it took itself a little too seriously with this expansion. But again, not having played the base game, I don't know. That was just kind of my concern.
There's a lot of extra stuff.
This has double dog cards. Asymmetric abilities. Oh.
Right. It was like, did this game need that? I don't know.
I've got the, what are those? The extendable leash? I've got the extendable leash.
Oh, I hate those so
My dog
much.
can go like 4 miles ahead of me.
Yeah?
Yep.
Or you could train your dog to heal.
Train? No, that's what I pay other people for.
It's very expensive. I looked it up. Okay, it's very, very expensive. You can buy a new dog for the price of training.
Which is really, that's just the way to go.
That's what you do. Just trade them out. Be like, this one didn't listen. I said City didn't listen. Next.
I let other people trade dogs and I buy the dogs for them.
Right. This is a joke. I love animals. I would never do that to a dog.
What?
I can't speak for other people. No, you were joking about
I threaten my dogs every day with deportation.
Okay. Check, please.
I don't say I do it. I'm just saying, and I'm like, you didn't have to wake me up again.
It's just a rule. You don't have to actually.
Good grief. Anyhow, this looks good. If you love dogs, you'll love this, and it's more of them. All
I
right.
just need to try it. I need to.
The Oracle RPG app. I don't put a lot of RPG stuff in here because we most talk about board games, but this was fascinating to me.
This was interesting. I liked the way it would allow the DM to shift on the fly, like they were saying, like, ooh, they go on a side quest you weren't expecting, and it kind of gives that, because you've done that, right? You've started to use some books to help create your dungeons, create that kind of stuff.
I wanted to do everything by scratch, but there comes a point where you're like, I can use these millions of tools available to me.
Right. And so I just thought this was a really interesting way to handle that, to be able to offer that flexibility in the middle of a session.
When did they say this was being delivered? Like,
well, it's also
June.
They also, I think it's already out. They're already it's already available because it's a compilation of a lot of their resources they already have. It's just in this digital app version. And I thought it was interesting that they offer, you can just outright buy it, or you can do a subscription. And so I thought that was interesting too. If you're going through a campaign, try it out for 3 months, and then if you like it, you can buy it afterward. Whatever. I thought that was really interesting.
You can get it forever for $300.
Right.
Immortal.
Forever and
of course,
everything
I don't
to
know
come.
how long it will be active, right? I mean,
but then you have to worry about leaving it in your will to your children. I mean, there's a whole process you have to go through for this.
Is your license void? Right. Is it a 2-year license? I mean, how long can you have it?
Are there laws?
Questions.
Is what I'm asking to protect me.
Laws or suggestions?
I'm glad I'm here to keep everything grounded, because what I was asking was, is this as a...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was asking, is this something that is online so that if they went down, I no longer have
That
it?
is a good
or
question.
Or is it
yeah.
a program that I have that I can use even if something happened to them?
No, that is an important.
Oh, that is true. Because like Lands of Galzier or Gals, I don't know what we're calling it now. Lands of Galzier.
Yeah, that's all. You can download it all.
You can download it, right? So you can go to the website and use it interactively, or you can just download and have it there.
Right.
So if it's hey, they're no longer supporting it, cool, I'm downloading it and leaving it on the iPad.
Right.
So.
And also, when you say you have 250 million combinations, that's great.
Yeah.
But I can do that with a series of 4 or 5 lists of 300 words.
Sure.
That doesn't make combinations, but I'm willing to. I might.
Is this like?
I might do this.
Is this like Dungeon
cool.
GPT thing though? I mean, is it like? Do you think that this is something that is all of these have already been built, or?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to delve farther.
I wonder if it's like a random generator, like because they do
Right.
they put a lot of effort into, we have all this material they've already done. It's not their first campaign for this kind of stuff. So this is the compilation into the app. So I do wonder if it's a lot of little pieces and the generator is randomly generated, kind of the AI.
But I want good
like that,
randomly
but-
generated. I don't want it to be adjective,
Right.
D&D race.
Right.
Yeah, is wearing, so you're like, oh, wow, you guys just ran into a goblin who's bright orange and is wearing a boa.
Right.
But I mean,
wow.
you have the $30 subscriction, which gives you like 3 months. I mean, I think that's a pretty reasonable price point for something
That
like
is
this
true.
to try it out.
I think I'm going to try it. We'll see.
We can't wait to be your guinea pigs.
You will have been already. All right. This is where you've escaped this. You've not yet been in the.
No, the only RPG I did was the one shot on the cruise.
But you survived that.
I did.
Unlike others.
Yeah, I did not.
All right.
I died happy though.
This one I put on the list. I might have passed this one by actually.
What do you mean by pass it by? What do you mean like?
I don't put every project in the.
You might
thing
have not put it in. Okay.
Because it's only 12,000 and 115 backers. But we have a copy of this here. This has already been printed, as far as I know, and you liked it.
Yes.
Said.
Yeah, so this is one of my most anticipated from SN, and I picked up a copy while there. I have played it, and I think it was just released at SN, and now this is the Backerkit to support it. I do like it. It's very... These are very first blush opinions. I mean, I've played it once and read the rule book, twice. I really liked a lot of what was going on. It's more of a managing you're not necessarily building a robot, you are managing a robot warehouse. And I found it really interesting as you're going into research and development and you're upgrading your machines, you're making collaborations with these 4 different companies, which are tracks that you're going up. And so as those relationships strengthen, you get different benefits. So it's kind of that build your own asymmetry in it. You all start the same and then you build your factory differently. I found my first play, the resources and the turns were very tight. Like by the end of the game, it's one of those games where you're like, oh, I got 12 points and the track goes to 250. Like just one of those kind of things. And so, but again, it was a first play, read the rule book a second time, haven't got it back to the table. But I really did enjoy a lot of what was going on and seemed like there was a lot of different paths you can take and different things you can do. So definitely one that I am still looking forward to getting back to the table and delving in a little bit deeper.
I guess my concern though is I'm not so concerned about the amount of money. 115 backers is a little low.
It is, yeah. I don't know why it's not doing well. Is it?
I think that
Backerkit?
picture is not selling it.
Maybe
Well,
that's
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
Is it an advertising thing?
So you only became interested in this because it was something you saw on an SN preview list.
Yes, it was like when we were making our SN preview
Right.
list, and I was like, "Ooh, I like that cover," and then I looked into it and
they
went
had
down
a
the rabbit
booth
hole.
there and the
They
whole
did.
nine.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So they probably made like a first print run that they
bet so.
sold there, and then this is either selling off remaining stock or maybe they printed more. I
or
don't
they're
know.
hoping to print
Yeah.
another one, maybe
Yeah.
hoping it was taking off. Yeah, so it's
It's also expensive.
Yeah.
It is. And there's a lot in this. There's a lot of cardboard in this. So I don't know if it is, so Monica here saying it's $98 after the early bird. That is a high price point. That could be playing into it. But yeah, it's, I did like it. I don't know if it's a $98 game.
Okay.
But, putting it in that mid to heavy Euro category, definitely Euro, definitely not lighter than mid, but I'd say mid to heavy.
Okay.
Not quite Lacerda. But yeah, so I
Okay.
think it's interesting.
Alrighty, well that's the gaming projects. We have some non-gaming stuff to show you, but first, let's hear from Mark.
This spotlight is brought to you by the Synchronite Foundation, an asymmetric, strategic, cutthroat conspiracy game based on a novel coming later this year. In a world powered by Synchronite Mineral, energy for the masses, immortality for the elite, power belongs to those who dare to seize it. As a member of the Shadow Council, you'll navigate treacherous game of manipulation, military strategy, and market control. The Synchronite Foundation claims to assure peace, but behind the scenes, a ruthless battle for dominance unfolds. Command private armies to secure resources, manipulate markets to shift the balance of wealth, and influence politicians to pass self-serving laws. Each action can trigger crisis that reshapes the game, unlocking unique victory paths. War demands conquest, monopoly rewards market manipulation, revolution thrives on political upheaval, triage exploits scarcity, and tyranny tests loyalty or invites your rebellion. Gameplay unfolds across 4 relentless phases. First, armies clash and resources are claimed in the conflict phase, where territories determine your harvest. Next, the offerings phase challenges you to invest your hard-won resources in bribes, operations, or military strength. In the parliament phase, you wield influence to pass laws or sabotage opponents with covert assassinations, thus locking some of their victory options. Finally, the foundation phase brings negotiation, unique role effects, and preparation for the next cycle as the world reacts to the chaos that you've unleashed. Every decision tilts the delicate balance of power. Markets shift, armies march, and crisis ignites, each opening new paths to victory. Will you be a savior, a tyrant, or a forgotten pawn in this high-stakes battle? Synchronite Foundation, control this trade league, control the world. For more information, please check out the campaign, which is live until the 21st of February on Kickstarter.
All right, Pet Q. Give your dog a collar with a QR code on it. Now, I think you should give your dogs as much information as you can. My dogs run around with my phone number on their collar.
Do they remember it?
They don't.
Okay.
But every morning I'm like, here it is. No,
Say it. What's the number?
But 2 or 3 times my number's been called by someone who says, your dog's in my yard.
Right.
You know, whatever. And that's handy. A QR code.
Well, they already have chips, right?
They do, but so the problem with chips or phone number or something like that, I think, is you have to keep that updated. If it has the chip, you have to keep that updated with the vet, and a lot of people don't. They go or just get the rabies shot and that's it.
Sure.
Or I know a lot of people that don't even do that. And so I think a QR code is interesting because it could take you to, where you keep your information, and then it's up to you to keep it updated.
Yeah.
But also, if you're not keeping it up to date with the vet, you're probably not going to keep it up to date here. So it's a moot point. Also, these look like crap, and they say that they're magnetic closures for simplicity, and I'm like, 100% it's not staying on the dog.
Well, also, I'm pretty sure that picture is AI because
I'm assuming this is
there's
just
misspellings
kind of
and things. But also,
Yeah.
I wouldn't put a QR code, not yet,
Yeah.
because the old guy who finds my dog is going to be like, what is this?
Also, don't scan that QR code, people. No, I'm just kidding. I'm assuming it's fake.
I don't think you can scan it because if you notice the squares are all off.
This is going to sound stupid, but
So different than the rest of the show.
Correct. Depending on the type of dog and how good your
Camera.
zooming is on your camera, you got to get within bite range of some of these
Well, I mean,
dogs. And also, they're probably jumping all over the place. You're doing this with your phone.
Okay,
But
come
back-
on.
but-
Complete
Come
catastrophe.
on.
But back to
Has
your
this ever happened to you?
microchipping, you have to take them to the vet to get scanned.
Well,
and that is definitely in bitey territory.
To be
It's in your
fair,
car.
I like the idea of a less invasive way of tracking your animal. I don't really love the idea of having to, insert something
Piece of rice.
under the skin or
I
whatever.
think it's fine, Mike.
I think it's fine too, but if you can do it without that
Then why
just
would
as
you do
good,
that?
then why wouldn't you?
The other
Because
thing
collars
with-
fall off.
That's the other thing
beg
with
to
this
differ.
is they're going to fall off. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, my dogs would pull. A lot of times they get away because you're, out walking them and they see a squirrel.
What's that?
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Do people tattoo their animals?
Yes, my dog had a tattoo.
Really? For purposes of...
It was a heart that said
It
mom.
was like it was his number. So it's like it was because I got him from the pound, and that's what they did. They microchipped him and then they tattooed the microchip number on him.
Oh, okay.
They did it in like the tribal lettering.
Oh,
So it was
completely.
really,
Yes,
it was
yes,
good. But
uh-huh.
This is hilarious.
Oh my gosh! I don't know why
The-
this isn't funding.
The
Maybe
demonstration videos on this.
I love how it talks about.
Look at that! Wow!
Yeah, it says it's
Lightning fast.
gonna save you time. Increase
lightning fast.
efficiency.
And I'm
There
sure-
it
Go
goes.
bring me up the pallet. Like, I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, hold on a second. It's like, well, no, you missed the corner. Okay. Beep.
It's funny because it ends this project at 1% of its
Right.
goal.
Yeah.
Also, I'm assuming that the proof. This is like
It's a proof of concept.
Yeah, they're not expecting it to have the wires out of the back either, which kind of maybe take some of the sparkle off of
As
this.
funny of a joke this is, I would say we are less than 10 to 20 years of this actually being a thing. You get
yeah.
to a
Tell you
warehouse
what.
and they're just moving around.
Well, they're picking stuff, right? I mean,
Yeah.
this is like what, to pick an order. Like,
You'd program the thing, right?
Yeah.
You'd just be like, you'd
I
scan
just don't
its
think
QR
Francesco
code.
is the guy
Right.
doing it.
Well, he does have the Ferrari logo in it, so I'm sure that he's one of the top engineers for Ferrari. I could tell by his proof
How
of
much does he
concept.
need for this? Only 1,000?
only 1,000?
I'll tell you what, if we're $1,000 away from self-driving pallets, then I've got some seed money,
I
people.
always want to know though how these people have $6. It was like I'm
Two
gonna
backers,
give you
Two
some money.
backers,
three
right.
each.
$3.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I'm willing to throw $3 into this, but beyond that, I'm not so sure. Join their Discord server.
Well, no, someone backed it for 5 and someone backed it for 1.
The one.
That's what
Okay,
happened.
well, there you
Okay.
go.
Server.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
the
the keychain.
Oh, someone
Now
wanted
that-
the keychain. Okay.
That is a different.
On many pallet bottle. You know what? If you left this, let's say you left this on the counter.
Right.
I bet we could argue about it for maybe an hour and nobody would guess what that was.
No.
Yeah, no,
also,
100%.
I'm pretty sure you can just turn that into a can opener, a bottle opener.
Yep.
Well, maybe that's next.
Yep.
Now we're back to the keychains.
Yeah,
so.
no, I
gosh.
mean,
Oh, it's 200? That's not bad. Oh, it's small version. You don't even get it.
it's an RC pallet bottom.
Like, there's never actually. I want the PalletBOt.
I think you're backing the concept here. Like, I want this
Oh,
to
I see.
exist.
I
Okay.
want the PalletBOt.
All right.
In my administration,
QuickClawz, a training tool to learn how to cut dog claws.
I felt
No.
so bad for this woman.
Oh my gosh, with the dogs in the background.
Oh,
Okay.
she's like, this was my 8th take. I'm sorry, you're just gonna have
She's
to deal
like,
with the dog.
did you not notice?
There's
Yeah.
this dog in the background growling the whole
yeah,
time.
he definitely has things to say. He's like,
Yeah.
"Roar." He's
"Do
like a
not
husky.
make this
Yeah.
through this
He
whole-"
is a back talking husky
Yeah.
or something.
Obviously,
He is,
that dog had too many
has
nails cut
thoughts.
without the
the
training
training.
because this dog was not happy about anything.
And you're right. She just addresses it. She's like, and I know you can hear my dogs, but this is my 8th take, so
my
we're just
8th
going with it. And she does. She just goes.
All right, so this is maybe a funny part. I will say this. When my wife was like, hey, we should trim the dog's nails,
Yes.
I looked at the dog's paw and I was like, how do you do it?
Yeah.
I mean, because
Yeah.
I'm like, they're like these giant claws sticking out. I'm like, do you cut the whole thing, the end of it? I don't
and
know.
if-
You know what? Take it in.
And if they don't have white claws or clear claws, no, I have cut my dog's nails for years.
Yeah.
I would still love one of these because all it takes is you cutting it short one time and you see that blood coming
my
out. And the
gosh.
dog's like, ah!
The dogs
and
are
blood's
miserable.
going
It's
there. Oh my gosh!
terrifying.
Then you're like packing it with.
I just, no joke.
my
This is why I walk my dogs on the street.
yeah.
Because it's one of the ways to
Yeah.
keep them
it
down.
down.
Mike
Yeah.
Keller is saying belt sander or Dremel. She actually shows a Dremel being used here.
Yeah.
So that's a legit thing.
No,
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you usually use Dremels.
Yeah.
It gets them really smooth. No, so I think that this is fantastic, especially what she's putting it forth here as is like for a school, a dog grooming school to teach
Yeah.
as a teaching tool. I was like, absolutely. I think that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a need.
Yeah.
or something like
yeah,
this.
for me, I didn't want to deal with it. That's why I'm like, we're walking down the road every
Yeah.
day. Because that does naturally
Yeah,
keeps
Yeah,
them
yeah.
lower.
No,
Right.
this is definitely like when you adopt a dog, you should get one of these.
Yep.
Blade booster. Are your skates not good enough?
Clearly not.
Oh,
So it shows him going through this skate park. And I'm thinking, oh man, he puts these things on. He's going to be doing some radical tricks.
yeah,
and he's just
yeah.
like,
Woo!
Well, let's get to him. There he goes.
whoa!
Heyo.
Slow down, Gleaming the Cube. This is, it's almost slower than going
Also,
normally.
like he has to get like in a full squat to use it. And I'm like, oh.
yeah.
That wire is really bothering me. I know he's going to get caught on something and then die.
The thing is that it looks like he's going slower than your typical rollerblader. That's what I don't get. Like, you see a rollerblader on the street, they're going faster than this dude.
Yeah.
What's it supposed to do?
It's supposed to, like...
It's about that. Yeah.
it's like it adds
It's like that stick we saw for skateboarding.
Right.
Where it's like,
where it pushes you along. Yeah. Yeah,
Well, they have the rights for it, so good luck trying to make your own, everybody.
Well, I hope those rights didn't cost more than $117. Yeah, I don't know. To me, well, and the goal is absurdly high too. what they're asking for.
Again, probably not when you look at like research, development, and like everything they need in the next 5 years to bring this project to life. So probably not. But also no, like you have to bring it's.
I'm getting called out in the chat for Gleaming the Cube being skateboarding. The point remains. Christian Slater, he can do skating, he can do skateboarding, whatever.
If you're gonna make there's not many rollerblading.
I can't think of a rollerblade movie, unfortunately.
There's the rollerblade derby one, isn't there? I mean the sport where they go
around.
Oh,
roller derby, but that's not usually on inline skates, is it? Unless they're doing that now. Back in the day, they didn't have
I think
inline skates.
It's regular
still
skate.
Wasn't
there like
everything
a
I've
futuristic
seen.
one? I don't remember.
I don't know. Death Skate 3000, maybe?
Alrighty, well that's it for those.
Right.
Please, Tom at dicestar.com.
Please
send me
send
some
him
good
better
prizes.
things.
But we're gonna do our picks of the week. We'll start with Mr. Z Garcia.
Hey everybody, Z Garcia here, and my pick of the week this time is going to go to Vineyard, a wine-making game. Seems like a fun little shared worker placement game in which you're moving around the workers, but none of them belong to you. There's just several available, and you can choose whichever and move them to take a new action. I like that. Now, the look of the game, I'm not finding particularly inspiring to me, but I'm liking what's going on in the gameplay, and I like mechanically the way the game was presented. I like what it's doing. I like the theme. It seems like a nice, cozy, right, kind of game. So it's one that I'd be happy to try my hand at and see if it puts across the feelings that I'm hoping to mine out of it. That sort of cozy feeling, sharing the workers together, and while I'm still competing, I feel like we're all utilizing the same people to achieve that thing. I like that idea. So yeah, my pick of the week is going to go to Vineyard. Let's see what everybody else has got.
All right, for me, it is Bullet Cubed. Here's the thing. I don't think I need all of this, right?
Okay.
But I don't mind having a lot of bullet in my life.
I need more bullet in my life.
Mo bullet, mo better.
And I think my kids would really like this box. Too.
What with
So
the
this would be
lack
a
of
cool
laws
thing.
in this country, I need more bullet.
All right, Mike, well, what is yours?
I'm going to go with that solo print and play. I don't think that was mine going into today, but the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, okay, let's get over the idea of it being a print and play thing. And there is some innovation here.
This was my number 2.
Yeah, and I really like the theme. And so I may actually, I've never backed a print and play project, so this might be my first. I'm the anti-Joey. I've never backed one of these.
Nice. And I'm going to go with Age of Automaton. Gosh, I want so much more. I think this game is so much more than what the project is making and showing here right now. So hope the best. Like I said, I've played it, I've read the rule book, and I want to get it to the table more. And really, I found the game sticking with me and wanting to deep dive into more of the different strategies and just see if I can manage it more efficiently. I really liked what it was doing. And honestly, it was the game is one of those too where the strategy is heavier than the rules. I read the rule book and immediately sat down and started playing, but then still was like, hold on, I need to learn the game,
So,
learn to be good.
Hear me out on this, right?
Okay.
You end up playing the game more and you really like it, right? You start championing it. Maybe, we work with publishers for promos.
Oh.
I see a PalletBOt promo.
A PalletBOt. Oh.
A Dice Tower PalletBOt
PalletBOt.
promo. It writes itself, folks.
No, I'd love to see this game do better because I really,
we
think
can't.
it's more than this project
We
showing.
signed exclusivity with Fingerbot.
Darn it.
So.
This does look good, Camilla. I
Yeah.
would 100% play this one.
All right, folks, that's it for Crowdsurfing. We'll be back. We got several things going on tomorrow. We first in the morning tomorrow we have Smorgasbord, and then right after Smorgasbord, Mike is here to play Ice. We're going to be playing Ice,
The second edition. Yeah.
newest edition, and then in the afternoon we're going to talk about our top 10 games that everyone should play once.
Just once, not twice.
Actually, I don't.
How is
I
that?
didn't
Is that
mean it to take it that way, did we?
No.
only worth one play?
I
don't think we did it that
I checked to make sure.
Okay. Anyway, all that's coming tomorrow and other videos too. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Camilla.
I'm Mike Delicio.
And PalletBOt's behind you.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us for that video. If you haven't yet, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hey, make sure you check out What's Happening, where I'll cover an app on an iOS or a Switch device, and you can check it out along with me. Thanks very much. You've been watching The Dice Tower.